Hey guys, what's going on? Just got done watching that crazy Auburn Alabama game, and from somebody who's from Florida, by the way, so not from the state of Alabama. That was a great game. I know my Facebook news feed is going crazy, and I know a lot of people from Alabama are going to get laughed from that. I mean, the state of Alabama, and especially a lot of Auburn fans too. You guys are going to get laughed about this. Talk about, oh, it was a classic game, yada yada yada. I'm a football fan. I've been playing football since I was in high school. I've still played semi-pro the last 6 years. I played 4 years in college, Robert Morris, and I've seen a handful of games over the years. I'm a huge fan of the sport. Period. I'm still learning too. I coached a couple years too, youth football a few years ago, and I'm just a huge fan just watching the sport, whatever team it is. And you know, the way that game ended is just absolutely wild, of course. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, beating Georgia off that tip reception for a touchdown, and that was wild in itself. But just the ending of that game is just absolutely amazing. I had a feeling it was going to be a tight game because because I mean this is the way Auburn was playing all season. Their defense is not been playing as I don't think they're as strong as that team in 2010 when they had Cam Newton. Talking about that defense, when obviously when they had Nick Fairley and the rest of those guys, but it's good enough, obviously. Personally, watching that game, I noticed the defensive line was really starting to take over the fourth quarter on. I think it was like probably the third or fourth last to the last possession Alabama had. I noticed the defensive line was really humming going after A.J. McCurran, and it's not even it wasn't even that the fourth down stands they had on yielding. It wasn't so much that. I just noticed we got a lot of pressure on A.J. McCurran, so I noticed they were teeing off. That's my point. And that's what you need. Obviously, too, I've said I've been playing football for a few years, but I've been playing off the line those whole years, too. So I know basically, just observing basically how the line of scrimmage is, and any guy that's played high school or college, they understand where I'm coming from as far as noticing just how the game's changing just by watching in the trenches. And they were teeing off big time. You can't have all those yards rushing from Mason and Nick Marshall without the offensive line doing their thing. And I know I'm talking about off the line, but the D-line was just humming today. They did their best. Obviously, the breakdown in coverage from the secondary, and I'm talking about Auburn, but that 99 yards. But after that, it was pretty much lights out for the defense, and that was very impressive. So they got a huge win too. I'm an SEC guy myself. My team didn't do well this year. My team did horrible. Talking about Florida, but I'm always rooting for the SEC teams come postseason because I always like the SEC. Come on now, Auburn fans. Come on, let's be real about bragging rights. I know you guys haven't had haven't done pretty well the last couple years. I know last year you guys did a real horrible, but this is a tremendous season for you guys. Might fool around and get to the national championship game. I know everybody's talking about Florida State now or Ohio State. But let's be real, you guys got a tougher schedule. SEC is always a tougher schedule, even though it was probably down a little bit. I personally, I criticized the SEC this year. I know if you notice some of my past videos, I criticized the SEC this year because they lost so many guys to the NFL. Not so much as bad. The talent is still there, hands down. I'm just saying it's just because a lot of talent guys either graduated or just gone out to the NFL right now. It's not as strong as the last 2-3 years, but it's still strong. So I'm saying my point is, let's say this. I'm giving a scenario. I don't know how it's going to go all play out because Missouri still has a play in a few minutes. South Carolina is playing right now as I'm speaking. But this going back to my point, the scenario is, okay, Auburn, they just beat Alabama. They win the national championship game. I mean, they won the SEC championship game. Come on now, you're talking about you're going to be a top 10 team because either South Carolina or Missouri is going to be in the top 10. Missouri, I think, as of right now, is number 5. South Carolina is number 10. And they're probably going to move up. So I'm just saying, my point is, if they go ahead and beat whoever it is, whether it be South Carolina or Missouri, I think they can get the national championship game. Now, I know Florida State fans, Ohio State fans will hate hearing that, but I'm just going by strength of schedule. Um, ACC has been picked up a little bit this year, but you're really talking about uh, 3 or 4 teams. You got to include Duke because they had a tremendous year. Obviously, Florida State, Clemson, Miami, and sometimes Virginia Tech. So that's 5. But I'm just saying overall, there's still a lot more. Auburn's got. Come on now, you got to deal with LSU. You had to deal with even though Georgia's had a down year, they were still playing them tough. Um, I know also too Ole Miss is another team, and there some people are like, well, they're kind of up and down. They had a pretty decent year too. Obviously Alabama, that's always big. So this is the SEC West. I've always saying the SEC West is probably the hardest division out of all college football the last few years, and it's still I think it still remains that way. So like I said, congratulations first and foremost to the Auburn Tigers, and I hope you guys just keep on rolling. Because I mean, out of selfishness, I wanted the SEC to keep on rolling as far as national championship games, and you're basically our last hope. So that's why I'm saying that. So again, huge congratulations. I know it's still crazy down there in Auburn right now, especially on that stadium. Since that was cool watching the fans charge the field. You don't really see that much in the SEC these days, but I'm glad to see that too. It's good for the sport, for college football. I love that, especially SEC. So again, huge congrats and best of luck to you guys going on. Whoever you play in the SEC East. So yeah, like I said, SEC guy I'm being selfish, but this day it's Auburn's day, and the way this going, hey, why not? Missed field goal for a touchdown, and a missed field goal, run it back for a touchdown, a tip, reception for a touchdown. You need breaks like that if you're going to win a big one. That's my point. So big congrats to the Tigers. I'll talk to you guys later.